Hello, this is my Ruby Capstone project. I'm a full-time student at Microvest. So this is a project implemented at the end of the session of the curriculum. So in this project, I'm going to go straight to the point because I want it to be short. It was exciting, intriguing, and really cognitively demanding for me and challenging, but yet I love it because it brought out the best in me. I never r- did anything like this, writing a code to check another code. It's so amazing for me. So in this project, I implemented to check for wrong indentation, to check for trailing spaces, to check for missing n and the rest. So you have the GitHub available for your reading. Example of the good and bad code is here, how to install it. I'll dive right into the code to show you some of the implementations. Also, I did a testing, spec testing, to check for the different to run the different tests of the code. To run different tests of the code, which I used the bug.rp to do some of the intentional errors for it to work as I see fit. So now the file reader class is what takes in the file and allow me to read the file line by line. So here is a single line, a single line, a single line. So that's just basically what the file reader does. Then the checks is what handle each of the method, like this check the trailing spaces, and then the indentation method is what checks the indentation to see if this is falling short of a good indentation or not. Then you also have the tag error. The tag error, make sure that we check for each of these parentheses, the opening and closing, both square bracket and curly bracket. So it handles that. It uses the spaceship operator to check it. It's quite simple. So it's just checking, counting the number of tags we have in the file to see if the opening matches the closing. So if it doesn't, it uses the spaceship operator, which returns 1 if this is greater, returns -1 if this is greater, but a 0 value if they are the same, which we are good. So we have the n error. N error does literally the same thing like using the spaceship operator to check if the number of keyword we had counted is the same thing as the n. So it's basically check that. Then the empty line method does the same thing, testing for if there is an empty line like that or not, then with an extra ending or something. So that's basically for the classes. So for us to, I have the main I made it executable, so you don't need to type .rb. So it uses the arg first, which is the first element in the argument. That's what it's checking. If we were to have two files, I would do arg first and the rest taking multiple files. So I call in the check indentation, check in error, no offensive error. So that's basically it. So for us to run, I would type beans/main, then the file I want to test on, rb. So line, it calls an error. Line 3 uses space indentation, so which is 3. So I think this indentation error. So if you have this, we should also have an empty line error. So basically that. So if we don't specify correct file name, we should have this error. Check file name. Okay. So that's basically it, guys. Thank you for watching.